So, in the interest of these being Speedy VOD reviews, game 2 of day 1 was SNG versus Kick. The beautiful face of Extra Angel and Fox drop again. I love you guys, but I'll listen to you later. So, I don't like that thing that pops up. Vayu, Reggie, Good Neil, Evo, Schlatan, Matislaw. Heard of Matislaw? I haven't heard of any of the other players in this game, or if I have, they have name changed. Takeaways from draft last game. If you draft red, you have to go quickly and not just sort of sit there and wonder why Ornn becomes unkillable, why Ariana contributes more, why your early game 2v2 didn't work out and the game just ended. So the Zoe on 1 is for Matislaw, so the casters, which makes sense. And we'll see a reply with Syndra. Gragas is fine. The Gragas ban every game makes a lot of sense. The character is, I don't even think overtuned, just strong at the moment. It is like the I don't want to say the tier 0, but it is the strongest jungle pick by some way. Set is fine. Rumble is a bit unusual. Maybe Ebo is a one trick or something. See day 1. Trundle 1 is fine. Aphelios Thresh is fine. So that's more blue than we saw last time. I'm gonna be using that. I'm gonna be using that terminology quite a lot. Please go and watch Ellis's 8-hour stream, or the highlights I think are going up on YouTube soon, in which he talks about the ways you enable your win conditions through different colors that can be categorized very similar to Magic the Gathering's colors. Even in a basic way. You don't have to know much about Magic the Gathering to understand that. Varus again, oh wow. Varus Nautilus is fine. So we see both teams picking their bot lanes far earlier than last time. The Azir here is absolutely nasty. That is fantastic. So you don't really beat Azir in lane. I imagine. So this is Ariana on 1. So Ariana doesn't win lane either. She just happens to do tons of damage after going even for 20 minutes, which is fine. So the Azir will now either remove options like that, or it will remove things. So it won't remove any jungle picks, because we see jungle on 1. And you wouldn't want to limit yourself, even if it like overlaps with something else. I don't think anything does at the moment, but that's some draft theory. So it's just solo lanes that we see missing from here. We might see an Ornn ban. It's something Aphelios doesn't really want to mess around with. See some boring, I say quote unquote boring bans, because these characters, there may be a LeBlanc here or something like that. I suppose it entirely depends on the blue second round 1, which is Jarvan, which is fine. I'm going to try and limit access to Varus. Make Azir do as much work as possible. Vel'Koz. Maybe that's a Kroxan pick. I don't really think Vel'Koz has seen much competitive play recently. And Elise. So pinching mid here is fine. Another Lee Sin. So we opt into a 2v2. They're confident that without these two, maybe Kroxan has to play near the wave, or has to play something that will not 2v2 with Trundle into these two. I think that is risky, seeing as Trundle's 2v2 is always incredible. So again, I think this Lee Sin is lazy. This can be something else. I'm not sure exactly what. It'll come to me in a moment. So like, yeah, Elise or Jarvan would have both been fine. Sejuani is an option. It's not a grand option, but it's an option. Trundle does walk all over it, but then Sejuani pushes R, and it doesn't matter if she's been walked all over. You know, her R is a R. Pay the QSS tax or stand still for a minute. I'm not sure how this completes. Like, the top lane, it could become vulnerable. So Renekton opting in for the 2v2 top lane is fine. Renekton's Ornn matchup also quite strong. Something that's coming out, especially more in China, where they like their blind aggression. So, you know, this is... I did mention when these two... Like, if Ornn is not banned here, there are options for Ornn on each side. So by picking Renekton first, you say, answer the Renekton, and you can't do it with Ornn, by the way. I don't know what EU mids play. This seems fine, but I don't understand how this works here. I've not seen a competitive Xerath game in a long time. You see Aatrox. Aatrox is really lazy. I don't like the Aatrox pick here. It does play into the Lee Sin theme, so maybe if there's some 2v2 options with Scoot pathing in interesting ways, then the Lee Sin Aatrox is fine. Otherwise, Aatrox is just comfort. It does not generate advantage here. It merely does Aatrox things. And sure, if it pentakills this team later on with some huge world ender team play, that's fine. You could have done better with any other champion. This is just purely, if you don't know what to do, a lot of high level top lanes will say, oh, well, Aatrox has been fine here before because Aatrox is always fine, but it's never proactive, it's never good, you're never generating advantage, you're just saying, oh, I'm sure this will be fine. Should be a 5 line of scrimmage, but we see red team going fishing. I can just maximize this, I guess. Oh dear, that is not a great time. Neither of the junglers picking up scanners there. Maybe it would have been a good idea to have Lee Sin pick up a scanner. Like, they can definitely drop wards and back to scanners, and Trundle should definitely... Oh, Trundle has done that. So, like, Lee Sin's ward jump, really important. Is it important level 1 through 3? Not really, unless you want to split the map. I suppose if that invade was successful, they would split the map. Oh dear. I can't see anything but Nile walking all over your bow here unless you make some major blunders. The Renekton is so proactive. A common thing to build into Aatrox that just turns him right off is the component for Thornmail that conveys Thornmail's passive, the Grievous Wounds. I don't think I need to see that on Renekton this game, but it is an option. A bit of trading on bottom. And Trundle has decided it's time to feast, so Vayu lands the hook. Really good timing, really good comms. Unfortunately, Kick have started pushing teleport. Was that cancelled? Was that cancelled? Crookston reach him? Because this is Giga Greedy. But everyone's level 3, so presumably all teleports are now cancelable with... I don't think it's called Arcane Comet. Xerath E and the double strike off Nile. So Vayu's like way out. Lee Sin coming down. You can cut your losses and run away here. You could maybe 1-for-1 with whoever's health bar this is. Pukistar. So it's Raxo, who's stuck here next to Vayu. This is the flash away from Vayu. The longer they wait, the longer Slatan has like a chance to kill everyone. Scoot continues. I guess they don't see or expect Lee Sin, even though they maybe know he started topside. So, is that first blood? No, that's second. Of course, the first blood was Tribush. Everyone flashing and going 1-for-1 here. I think it does benefit Kick in the long run. Like, Lee Sin getting ahead, as you saw last game, quite core to his identity. So they definitely pick up 2. Does he lose his life for it? Yeah. This Aphelios is huge already. That is just really sloppy, but Kick still come out ahead. Maybe not ahead by tons, but ahead. I need to check whether Trundle got what Trundle got out of this. Oh, that is buddy friend pal. That is not great. It's a lazy teleport. Oh, Aphelios got a really good cleanup. Lee Sin comes out way ahead. So much he's got a bounty on. And again, looking for a play onto this Xerath. Maybe better to go top, but this 2v2 is pretty doomed. This is going to be some mad level 4. So like this dive is fine. It's way better with the teleport that we don't have anymore. Burn a bunch of cooldowns getting in there. Don't think it matters. No heal on the side of SNG. Not great. They do lose Raxo in the middle, I think. Zlatan does not have aggro there, so they're fine. So the wave is here, and SNG lose all of this, which is really crummy. Mid lane has done the right thing and matched the push, so Azir will be suffering without the CS. Nice to pick up some assists, but it's not what he needs to sort of continue driving forwards. I'm not sure how he's going to work into Xerath later on. Raxo missing the hook is real unfortunate. So maybe a bit ARAM-y. I'm not sure how to describe the chaotic fighting on bot lane. Maybe just chaotic. So Kick do come out ahead in the early. I'm not sure it's sustainable. It's so greedy. It's so greedy. Which one does he see first? Oh, whoops. That is not the button. I think I caught my numpad. Goodbye, YouTube. The Thresh getting boots at 1 is really cute. So let's go back. So Vayu walks from red buff, gets spotted at red buff, goes for the plant, sees Raxo. At this stage, he should already expect Zlatan to be here. They know he's not up here, and to be honest, it's Dragon O'Clock. Like, your jungler is not here. I think you have to concede the cloud. Maybe it helps Krogan a lot. It helps Screwed. And it definitely puts like a timer on Kick to act around Rehe's cooldown, but like as soon as you see this ward here, this angle is not yours anymore. You have to attack it from mid lane and wait for these two, and instead he walks back. This is so greedy. And then he sticks it and places a control ward. Holy moly. That is some I haven't died yet, so I'm probably not going to die logic going on. So this is conceded. There is no... You do not even check that. It is gone. Rehe has somehow done this to his wave. So now he has to base. If he does not base, bad things will happen. If he had 450 gold there, he's missed out on the easiest call of his life. Maybe he wants to break the freeze like as quickly as possible. Do Kick set up the freeze? Show me bot lane, show me bot lane. So they didn't try it was broken immediately. You can hold 3 of these caster minions here for the end till the end of time and just tell Lee Sin to come and have a fiesta, sure. Oh, is that how you say it, Rye? So we see the lovely level 6 on Madislaw. Zlatan does not care about his. He's just going to run straight in and make the most of it. They are all spotted out. Mostly because I think Madislaw walked from this side of the wave, which is a bit of a giveaway. He decided it's not worth it. So we've seen that like this lane didn't transpire the 2v2. The Thorn Mail component was built. There is no way Ebo does anything but suffer up here for the next 10 minutes. So Nile did lose quote unquote more there with the health. But Ebo had to burn a large cooldown. The wave is fine for Nile. He can continue to do this. Ebo does not look happy. He's gone to do his jungle. He moves red on the bot side. Trundle cleared the whole of top, so maybe Trundle can split the map, but again, not really worth it. Oh no. So they've spotted Madislaw, so they know there's shenanigans. Maybe Rehe just dies without any assistance here. Oh, okay. So Vayu held his ground, which is really good. Nile straight on it, not hanging around. Really impressive. I don't know if Vayu called for this or Ray called for this to this ward, but that was really smooth. That's going to punish Pookie, who I think otherwise lives. I think that's like 40-ish health, which is more than a tick. Madislaw has arrived. Rexo maybe pulled the trigger a little too fast, but to be too fast and too slow. Madislaw, if you stand on this side, I don't think you can reach without committing and Vayu being able to capitalize. This pinch is not even necessarily great. Nile has to make or break this. Otherwise, Zlatan will just kill Scood or kill Vayu. The ultimate advantage here, just a little bit too large. It's a decent Shurima shuffle. They have to keep Nile from reaching the relevant fight for as long as possible. You see the Arcane Barrage come in from Croakson. I'm not so Madislaw shuffles away. Maybe fine with the 1-for-1 and burning this. Zlatan gonna pick up another. Sure, that's huge for kick. SNG like responded properly and then couldn't continue. I don't think continuing there was fine. I think you can just leave that fight. There is no dragon here to force this to be necessary. Nile is like quite strong. Strong enough to take someone out before these three stop him? Maybe. We saw Zlatan use his cooldowns on the last fight. Madislaw, the big cooldowns. Rexo does not yet have the box, which would twist this completely on its head and make this like a perfect pick. So that was just unnecessary. You've burned your mid laner's flash for 300 gold. I don't think when like Madislaw was already doing just fine after the result of that last fight. Zlatan is already huge. I think that was needlessly risky. Sure, he lives with 100 health, but could you stay at the start? He wouldn't. I'm not sure anyone could be quite confident in that. Like Rehe can just position slightly better here. If he's further to the left instead of he's not even wiggling, he's pacing backwards and forwards over a longer distance to try and dodge some perceived thing or get involved with killing Pookie. He should just surrender it to Nile, be confident in Nile. Maybe, I don't know how long these teams have been together, but that seems more relevant. Not losing his life here twists this next section again, because again he can push a Q through this, he can base and not be another like calamity. It's just standing here is the answer. Sure, Zlatan can come in and commit, but it gives Vayu all the agency under this tower. He can use his Q, he can auto attack as he sees fit to try and make it harder. So this wall is just brutal for Nile. He needs to commit to either way. I think he walks down this way eventually. But the Emperor's Divide just makes it so... Oh, the ultimate as well. And that's given Ebo everything he needs to get back in. I'd like to see how many plates have gone down like the LCK. So we lost 2 on top. It's definitely 0 on mid, but gain 0 as well. And that's it for now. So Evo quite rich. I don't know if he's rich enough to kill this. If the ulti being down has been communicated, like they can definitely fight that. Maybe would have been better than doing Herald straight off. Because the Herald's nice, but can snowball an insta drop. So they want Evo to continue to be more relevant. I think that might have been better done on middle. Otherwise, you may never break the Zereth. So yeah, how to play Lee Sin in this game. Definitely Foxdrop is 100% right there. There are 6 more kills and 2 more assists on this Lee Sin. He's incredibly valuable instead of a walking minion. So even though Evo's got all that gold, and I think he shopped as well, this is scary close. No. So the Aatrox is winning through means of not being Aatrox, but by the Renekton being messed around down here for ages. Like, this does not make Aatrox a good idea. It just means that because mistakes were made from SNG, the enemy top laner continued just forwards on his little path. And I don't like it when stuff like this is used to justify Aatrox. This could be Fiora or like any not fantastic top laner at the moment. Not saying that Fiora is, but you could just do this with any character, and yeah, you'd probably kill the Renekton. You could do this with Kalista. Like, we continue to ARAM. Is this... Who is this? I think this is Matislaw. What happened there? So Lee Sin and Thresh are checking out Riverbush. Aphelios is presumably at the wave or waiting for his wave. What's left of the wave? They see Trundle. You see Vayu positioning aggressively. Ocean Dragon spawns. They look like they're going to it. Vayu commits to Riverbush in a big way. Ray. Accuse the wave. They see Trundle leaving? Or do they just know he's not going to hang around? So Trundle pathing away there. Like, even as the camera comes in, this is the focal point. And not only has Trundle put double distance by walking away and walking back the same, it's just... Start with Moonlight. Ray's ulti is slow here. Just this. It stops Zlatan straight in his tracks. And Puki as well. And saves Vayu. Oops. Can we... Oh no, okay. The step forward stuff on YouTube isn't working. So Raxo pivots in a big way. I think Rehe did not have to move like this or like this, but instead like this. And then as Vayu like comes down here, the distance between them means that Rehe can continue to attack without being in range of this. Because it would have to be used on Vayu as he comes downwards. Otherwise Scoot joins and this becomes a fairer fight. It's still not a fair fight because Zlatan's going to kill them all. Item difference is just too big, and instead everyone gets sucked in. I think the damage is absolutely huge. I'm not 100% if Aphelios could have done more, but I'm not sure how this ammunition system works. So Kiki is playing red way more successfully. Like, the top side of their map is giga linear. They can only do one thing. Matislaw can shuffle once in a fight. He can deal loads of damage, but he can shuffle once. Zlatan can only go forwards, deal damage, be procedural, gain objectives, and win the game before he becomes a walking minion. Evo can only do Aatrox things and just be fine, and just be like a proficient laner who can eventually team fight in a big way. But the difference between this and last game is, even though I think the disadvantage, like 6k at 12 minutes is huge, but it's not necessarily over yet. Like, which is the big difference, because last game it was becoming over way quicker, but the difference was less. The chance to come back in here is far greater. Again, I don't know how Xerath mid game works here. He can't side lane, so I don't know what he's going to do. You've got 2 lanes that can just clear themselves, and a Renekton. The Renekton will eventually catch the Aatrox, but it's going to take a long time now. Once that Death Dance is done, it gets a bit more complicated. Did they see him leave middle? Replay. La 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 la. No. They presumably know he's back at some stage. That is so greedy. So this might reveal that SNG do not talk about back timers. Because if you talk about back timers instead of returning to lane, you're aware that Azir has been gone for far too long at this stage. He has not walked into middle. There is no reason for him to walk top lane into a wave that's pushing away from him. And bot lane is under their tower, greedily trying to sneak plates. Like, this is not the way to come back in as a blue team, as Ellis would describe, as someone who wins through not getting down and dirty, not fighting, and just outscaling, as we saw last game. What stopped you doing that a couple of seconds ago? Oh, it's on cooldown. It's a bit of a shame that Rexo is not next to Mastislaw here. The hand was sort of revealed a little too early. So they don't get his flash. It's still coming up soon. Oh, right, hey. Again. Oh, okay. Decent wiggling. Zlatan's still going to break this wide open. We do see 2 blue units coming down. Trundle and Xerath. At the start of this fight, were Aphelios and Thresh next to each other? So Aphelios is all the way back up here, definitely not, but... yeah, it's a shame this wasn't revealed. I think they sort of figure it out. So Madislaw is forced to come in if he wants to, use the element of not surprise, but you're in the wrong position. So Ray was already pathing down. It's fine. Renekton's got a really big question of whether he freezes this here. I'm not sure he can, actually. No, he's just going to try and get a big wave as Aatrox continues to farm. Stopwatch, a bit rough. So they do turn it back around. This is scary enough. Kroxin, I suppose, has just been farming, and Wally is behind the Azir. He's still a threat, especially to Zlatan, who isn't quite tanky yet. Oh no! He stuck him to the wall. Oh dear. That is absolutely filthy. Dear. The current patch really does have some interesting ways XP is worded. Like 3 levels between Rehe and Ivo is really brutal. That said, one is ahead, one's behind. That's not the big one, maybe. But top lane XP this patch, really interesting. If you get behind, you're kind of finished. Two towers. There were at least 2 plates here and some down here. Ouch. So again, they can still vector in through this Xerath. This game is not over. These two are vulnerable. Maybe Slatan becomes vulnerable again in the future. Vayu eats that hook fantastically. Triggers Aftershock. So they do pick off Lee Sin. But oh, no flash here. Like, Croxon has to keep this going and keep this alive, otherwise this fight's over. And I think Ebo is just going to walk through here, do red-coloured things. Oh, it's Aatrox things. He pushed Q 3 times, and a lot of people ran out of health. This is getting to the stage where SNG can never recover. Are we up to 10k yet? Stop griefing me, YouTube. Moving my mouse around is giving me the dark edges. So what, 8,000? We're approaching where Kick will just be able to mow down infrastructure around the map. And SNG's answers will never sort of be heard. Oh, do we know the soul? I don't even think they can't do that safely. They can't trade. So Infernal as well. Absolutely disgusting on Azir and Aatrox. Just adds to that massive combo they both have. Quite powerful. I don't think we're ever going to see Singularity picking up the soul. Oh my goodness. Eats Rehe first. And Mataslord now does no longer feel comfortable. Ebo did not survive 50 years. Shuffles them back. If he lives, that is massive. So, quite a lot to digest there. So, Ebo is picked. No vision appear for Kick. There is no need for vision, but at the same time, Ebo should just maybe be stood more like here. He still dies in this scenario, so maybe he suspects and he thinks he has time. He sees it on entry to the bush. Scoot casts his circle at the same time. Rehe could be just standing over here and making this more difficult, like pulling Ebo across these members more, so that if he has to use his dash to fix his combo, it's like more detrimental. This is the perfect ranging for the edge of the bush. So thinking about this in terms of how you're going to attack the Aatrox is super rough. This is just a quick kill the Aatrox. And it's really sloppy. Like, the Aatrox can still cast spells. We don't have something that stops him casting spells here. Oh, that is really rough. So Maslow couldn't teleport up here. That's a death sentence. Or could he? So there's no TB opportunity for red here. He could maybe be teleporting like here, but then if he fails to keep this Aatrox alive, which is pretty 50-50. That's a solid maybe. The ult starts here from Krogan. Azir's in the bot lane. So moves away to the side. Doesn't know that Xerath can't be there till the ult is popped. Then starts channeling. Did he channel before or after he died? So he's definitely picking his target as he walks away. So it's like on the moment of death. I'm not sure how I feel about that teleport. Maybe unnecessary. He's hoping that Pookie walks up from the Pookie and Friends. We'll call them Pookie and Friends. The 3-man unit. Walk up. Raxo is going super fast. So he decides that they can pincer here, which is really smart. He will find Krogan on the other side, but If you can kill Neil, who isn't very tanky yet, just here, I think this works fine. Schlatan could be going for Neil here. Vayu doesn't do anything at the side. They know a depth charge is down. Rexo triggers his aftershock. Maybe could have layered that a bit better and waited for the flay. Maximum downtime would mean that Neil has to wait even longer to get over to the other side, and Krogson has to make a difficult choice. So gets good. That's Pookie's focus. He's got the right guns on. Maximum damage. Holy moly. Matterslaw definitely regretting his choice of a minion. Could have done one slightly further away, drag them out slightly further. Oh! That was just in the neutral. So while I do like this branding, and I think without all the borders, just a little bit of the purple looks nice. I also want to see ability cooldowns. He's walking forwards. He knows he's got the splash gun on. So he doesn't see the first one. Oh, season number 2. He's just so committed. So definitely like the base of Singularity. Oh, they do catch him. This is all just cute though. I don't think Nile can reach a point where he's relevant. Like Schlatan could just disrespect all of the rules that would normally apply if everything is 0-0 and everyone's just farmed. It's just so brutal. Like, the soul isn't far away. There's no way Singularity contest a dragon. They can't even contest their own golems. Like, they don't have to base when they would normally have to base. They can just do whatever they like at this stage. This game can't last another 4 minutes, surely. Like, they're struggling to clear their own minions. That is some Azir damage. I really think the Xerath has been largely ineffective this game. It does like cute things like attempting Baron steals and triggering ults across the map, but Krogzen's largely been a non-factor. Like once or twice he was still just pushing onto mid, and while that was like the correct call at the time, I don't even see a scratch on mid tower. Like the icon is still the full one. So, Kick did okay that game. It's very much a how to play Lee Sin. Definitely a deserved win and an aggressive style. Stuff like this doesn't matter too much. Like the way that assist kills and solo kills work now means that sure, even if you get cute little picks, it'll take that player off the map, but it won't give you the same thing they got when they killed someone else earlier. I'm looking for the Renekton teleport to bot lane where he gets trapped over the wall. That was a key point when the ball started rolling for Kick. We're like up here somewhere. So Schlatan wasn't even 6 and he had 7 marks on the map, 100% kill participation. Mostly to bot lane as well. And I don't really want to spend the time to go all the way back, especially since I haven't got POV camera anyway. But maybe the waves could have been managed better. And hold SNG closer to the tower, knowing that the 2v2 is, or the 3v3 is maybe not their option or their choice, or if it is their choice, that Scoot isn't there. So here's the teleport. Value crucially, well, need the support 6. So nearly gets the 1. This is brutal, this not being here. Sure, Schlatan can exhaust options coming this way, but then you exhaust options and Magislaw still has to commit. Otherwise you can wiggle back to where he stood. So Aatrox is going to get 2 waves off of this, which is all of the, well, nearly all of the advantage accrued so far. Not sure what to feel about that. In any case, that's the end of top diff and pretty much the end of the game.